Numekua Esoyas Nene, Bembeni Travel and Consult, FREDUA Automation Limited, Hemco Enterprise, Lightest Multimedia, Prissy Logistics, Kenley Company, Reps Household, E-Fashion and Boutique, Decovas Enterprise, and above partners.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel. PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Health Talk Show with Lisa. The vision of PCTV is to make the name of Christ known throughout the world. Promised Land Faith Ministries has 3 branches. The Faith Temple, which is located at Tema Community 1, behind the Gulf Healing Station. Dominion Temple, which is located at Doyimu off the Shai Hills Akosombo Road. And Victory Temple, which is located at Ashama 40 Rooms, Atadeka. Our weekly programs are as follows. On Mondays, we have online Bible studies between the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. On Wednesdays, we have Faith Hour at the Faith Temple between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Every Friday, we have Manifestation Half Night from 7 p.m. And the very last Friday of the month, we have an all-night service and waiting at Promise City, the Doyimu Temple, and the Dominion Temple of the Shai Hills Road. On Sundays, we have our Victory service. The first one is at the Faith Temple between the hours of 8:30 to 12 p.m. And the evening service is at Victory Temple between the hours of 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. I would like to say a very big thank you to Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempeh and Mr. Ajiman Prempeh for giving us this platform to share the little that we know. He is God. He can do all things. We also have the following program on the PCTV lineup. On Mondays to Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., we have Visitation Hour with Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempeh. On Wednesdays, we have Exaltation Drive Time with Irabi. On Thursdays, we have Inspirational Hour with Pastor Jesse between the hours of 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you once again for making time to watch this program. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today's program, we'd like to start off by first introducing our very special guest who is here today to talk to us about male infertility. We realize that WHO has been making a lot of noise, if I should say, on this very issue. The fertility rates throughout the world has been declining. And when we say has been declining, I mean, I thought, oh, it was a joke until I saw that India and Nigeria had declining rates, which doesn't make sense because these are some of the countries with more people. But if they are having declining rates, that's something that we should look at. And to make it more encouraging for people to take interest in, today we are going to talk about male infertility, because all along we've been thinking that most infertility issues are with the woman. But we've come to find out that now majority is with the men. So we need the men to know that these are the issues that are happening so that they can also get tested, know what their status is, and also encourage them to go with their wives when they need to see a doctor. So I'm here today to welcome Mr. Nana FREDUA A. Adumaku, who is an embryologist from Provita Specialist Hospital. And if you did not know, Provita was the first hospital to do IVF in Ghana in 1995, which was done under Dr. Menu. Mr. Adumaku, welcome to today's program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think I've said a lot concerning what we are going to talk about. Enti me pese me bisa say when ye ka say infertility, what the yanka say infertility first and sana ya call male infertility. Ka say infertility a then na ye can one say.
Okay. All right. That's it. And I'll greet your audience too. All right. So basically, infertility is about say our for they've gotten married and they've had sexual intercourse consistently for 1 year uninterrupted. Omo use protection be not still a warning bar. So according to the World Health Organization, our for warina after 1 year of sex without protection, if there's no conception, then they are classified as infertile couple. And see, I was say almost 38 the entire they've not conceived through the 1 year of unprotected sexual activity. Yes.
Okay.
Basically.
Say infertility.
Yes.
And I feel so no from the walk one can say oba I know we are say our for me no to say oba ni oba ma nya oba nko a. Okay, but fi tete na na ehu say nkofo ware na say awon ba oba no na ehu amane. Say bibi ni a bibi wa her friend stigmatization. Oba ne pe na enya. Enko oba ma ne side. Oba ne pe no on the time bia no. We ewo miso e ka say oba idi onwo oba ni e barren oba ni de say oba ni e say na mpese me bisa o infertility ye na yeti definition of the man ye ti asese nkofo ba mpese me wan kasa o kan sisi a oba pe ana say to me ye oba ni oba man na
yo infertility no etimi oba etimi ebema because it takes a man and a woman to come together and to give birth to kids. Now this part of the world no Yehuni say beme bia etimi ewo. Enti normally ana ya adwin nyina akọ ema no so. Say ema no na entimi wo. Enti na stigma no akọ because bema de when men think they have erection and they can perform sexually, they think they are okay to have kids. Enti sa adwin no na ya na ehyaman for chim say oh bema de wotimi enye omo problem but a man na ye omo problem. Enti the education is not quite good in this part of the world. Intina man akoyesa.
Okay. Inti the what church mu ye be kan say male infertility ne start say ye be ka say ye be discuss. Inti eno no na ye kan na enu mu nchase ne sen.
Okay. Inti ye kan male infertility na che say obema we see we matured bema we see our real kwan so na we grown up who has the ability to produce sperm or have kids. On oba Asia for 1 year. When you use condom, when you use protection, now so there's no pregnancy. And that male is also classified as infertile. And also of call Otuanamon, what is really happening. So we are saying this in the context the woman has been declared fertile. And who has been declared infertile. And a quite bear soon a so said, yeah.
Inti for embema no ebe day na ye hu to say the wo kan say bia oba na kwaye test hu say o problem bi eni oba no nti say obema no so eko inti test bi ben sa ana day na ebe ye hu say ya ye na ya hwe oba ne side na say bibia ye find then ebe ye hu say obema ne side no bibia ya na say bia problem wo because minim say ebe dru baby ebi wo ho so a obema ni side no ba ni side na she ni ho na problem ayede aba but then nebema ye betumi aya obema ni side ama ye hu say bia problem bi wo ho ana say problem ni ho
enti obema sa no obedi came to anamon akọ hospital enti there are various ways first one no make say e bit my physical examination enti physical examination no eno no doctor ohwe mema a reproductive system a urologist will really do that. Enti no obit ma say we testis no is it really a mature testis? Beme bo an testis kra e kete I say baby testis. Enti obehwe sa no and I was say ye hwe say can you even have erection? That's the basic thing. Because when you erection e be na sperm na afemu aba akoba nim. Enti oni erection no enti urologist ni hwe we ni na area. Then there is also a semen analysis. No ye be ye ahwe se o sperm na wo o bema ni mu no ne dodo ye sen because what organization am a standard And sperm no so the physical structure, or we call it the morphology of the sperm no. How is it? Is it really normal to get a woman pregnant? Enti ebe san hwehwe we nhwehwe mu nyina. Afen so bit my chromosomal analysis. Be me bi wo ha. Why se be ma why so oba. Enti no chromosomal analysis ni bit me hu se bia owo yare bit se Klinefelter. Eno no chromosomal abnormalities. Enti no be man why se be ma why so oba. Ana se owo Tay-Sachs. Ye fe bi a congenital bilateral absence of the vas difference. Ye wo tube bia eno no testis na produces sperm na wie no en na carry e de ba obema ni ma ni pia bonten.
To say the emba wo tube ba nkosia to me fam sa na mbema so wo tube.
Sa pepepe.
Okay.
Enti obo ho a ye wo no sa tube no amba.
Okay.
Enti sperm no produce yo nyina se bi aka testis ni mu. Enti enya bibia emfro emba ni bema ni mu. Enti all these labs be me hu say this is the problem. Na ye hu ekwan a e be fa so enti semen analysis wo, and also a bit maybe say history. Usha no we prada when your spinal cord injury da, when your moms they mfe ni general kutu no ti and no kwa dey usha kwa na but would you your adolescent age na onya the likelihood that obetimi yes. And I say who say enti all these results never back out no. And then where we have to really tackle the problem from. Exactly. And so these are some of the basic, there are a lot of where we can diagnose, but these are some of the basic ones. You beat me, I can't want to say mama it's here for ati.
Okay. Now o kasano o can say to say semen no mo be share morphology ne forms na dodo ni sa no. Obia o produce semen na sperm woman na. In the first place no my enti ase e ka semen na eno na sperm na say dey. Because I say it's confusion no so e wo ho.
Okay. Okay. Enti aya na ye tie for bebie e nipa bebre adwene say bema e release bibiba outer eno ne sperm. But entisa before bema be release no, there are some parts of the reproductive system, a bit say the prostate, the seminal vesicles. Omu na di nsuo kakra e boom, so that the sperm will have a medium. So the sperm needs a medium to flow. Without it, it can't flow.
Okay.
And you need the prostate bringing something small. You need the seminal vesicles bringing something small, and form a seminal fluid. So the sperm is inside. So when you say semen, it comprises the sperm and the seminal fluid into an upper outer. Now, even before we can see say a sperm, no, it must be observed under a microscope. Because in showing about out, the bit more by say a prostate fluid and seminal fluid and a bar out, but sperm nim. Yes, until say be call lab by be analysis who say in showing out the my is it really sperm womb, and answer is just a seminal fluid which just came from the prostate and other part of the reproductive system.
Yes, I work because in Bema P maybe go so one in Banomon cause to because one the only problem.
Yes.
Because was sperm.
Yeah.
Inti yes ana edi inti what church we I hope say tie for ebeti normal tiase no bi so aka chen say nye nsuo na eba no na yes sperm no na sperm no betumi awo nsuo ebi wo so a hwe nim to unless say the microscope no ahwe ansana ye be hu say bibi wo ho ana say bibi eni ho. Okay. Na ade ba akoso when say wo kan no okay kan courses bebre o can't see so come.
Yeah.
But in our fee so ebi mu wo ho a mat say accident ana bibi ponti say ebi a o ejaculate a instead say ebe ko semen na wo ni junsom. Eno so ye de we.
Yes. I don't know your friend retrograde ejaculation. And no bo ha because of accidents and say bibi ntino. Say ono obehia and the time of ejaculation for the sperm to come out, and the sperm rather goes into the bladder. And tisani pakrono the sperm no instead say ebe out through the penis no, it goes back to the bladder. And that person, the only way you can even do semen analysis for that person is to let the person urinate and bring the sample to the lab to really pick out the sperm and yes, and you know most of them spinal injuries and other injuries. The ones who are surgery be and all those things too can cause retrograde ejaculation, which is which is a man be faces that until we say, oh, me one bow, me no be share me home, but me home ba egu the Johnson into all John Swan or who say, yes, and also a hopper. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it because I know so yeah confusion nkofu bebre nya na inti say no you bet me yes I test one day semen analysis even one day and bibi e was say o call na oba na bibi say na ye no because menu anu mmema odi oba de chi akọ no kra po ya asem inti say test I take it 3 days and 4 days and bibi e be hard drink inti difficulty e wo mne say and I say bibi obekwa na say bia maba na say then I expect.
All right.
That's what I should ask.
All right. And before semen analysis, normally we communicate to the client that at least abstain for let's say 4 to 7 days. So before the person comes to the hospital, you're informing they say abstain from sex within this period, and come and give the sample. Probably be saying a sample. My man is saying. Obi say buy a extract sample from you. Yeah, and sometimes I know they ask a lot of questions. The best way to get the sample is masturbation. But you who say this part of the world no masturbation in your habit amount for it me so sometimes we improvise say okay you can have sexual intercourse but you do coitus interruptus. That means when the sperm is coming you release it. Of course there are conditions attached to it. When the wife is in her menses you can't do semen analysis because you bring sperm, you bring blood particles into it, and also there are times so you can even pick yeast cells from the vagina into the sample. These are some of the drawbacks of having coitus interruptus for semen. And you catch room say na monye obanso you see that masturbation. If you are not comfortable with the hospital environment, we can let you take it home. If your home is not that far, because the sample should get to the hospital within 1 hour after you have released it to the specimen bottle. Yeah,
nti mwana mama container no mo de kwa no betumi de because oka say to say or you uncomfortable hospital nti fia ono inside be fini fie ba and I say mwana mama container no
pacho ya na ema because it should be a sterile container obo ha oka say over container bra container bi a inku ewo ma o use ye and I say na eduro bi wo
no akofa no de no
ba balance sperm na ewu you don't have a true picture of the quality of the sperm in the person and normally we have our own sterile specimen bottle amoba yeah this show monsa.
Okay,
yes
Inti say apart from yare a woke kan chromosomal we ni ade na ebetumi aye problem inti abe cause male infertility no what are some of the problems are you be with analysis no say yeah what are some of the problems ebetumi aba.
Okay, the first problem ebetumi hu say sperm bi anim, that is the exospermia. And no under the microscope that means you hu hwe not even a single sperm swimming in the field of observation. And that's one of the first thing ebe hu. And ebetumi hu say o sperm no the concentration is low. Instead of 15 million no, we have less than 50 million.
Okay.
And as ebetumi hu say our movement no very slow. Because it should be around 40% of motility. Maybe our DNA 5-10. And also yes, parameters a bit me. Then we come to the morphology. Maybe our ODN sperm no bebreti enye ebiti aye fia ebiti so aye kakaka na nyema wom enti sperm no suti no baby a it has the ability to fertilize. Enti sperm and it what issues bebre no so ana ability to fertilize near very low. You can have a fantastic sperm concentration, be perfect, but the be say ni ti no a problem. Sometimes when you ti no crow the neck no because sperm e wo ti and e wo neck and e wo tail. Ebo ha the neck na yesi and the ti no so ayesi and the tail no so ebo ha the tail no are coily because normal one the tail no should be a bit straightened kaka and the neck no so should be straight. Not head no so should be oval. Ebo head nine who say trapezium. Ebo so I know like pin or tapered at the end. Ebo so you see some particles like some vacuoles inside. Into all these things are morphology. The andrologist will check to see say okay sperm is it really good to go ahead or do we have to improvise or use other means to get to achieve what we want. So these are some of the things. We also do the biochemistry to check if it's a fructose womb, zinc womb. It has all the abilities to fertilize. By so doing, we can say that okay, the prostate is really working well because the zinc is gotten from the prostate.
Yeah.
And if zinc is lacking, or if the sperm doesn't liquefy within 30 minutes, then it has issue with the prostate, because the prostate has to bring the enzyme that will aid liquefaction of the sperm. So these are some of the things I share in semen analysis. Exactly.
Okay. And see, now to say T-shape now, okay, can only na basasa, not to say to me fertilizing.
Not just say ain't mean fertilize it through the normal way.
Okay.
There are several ways they fertilize it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But then no say unlike you say oba wo no nkosia no wo dada no e be ma na ntisa nti yemfa ne say na e bia wa be ye test na we hu say oh e bia problem ni say na bibi wo ho aye betumi aye wo just the same to get there e bia say nurse ana say quality betumi improve ya even before we think about e bia treatment bia na bibia like niama bi wo ho abeto because mbe man say mba obeka say sa na ye de wo no nti
exactly. And basically, I'm saying if it's a sudden year kind diagnosis, the hormonal analysis and count. And members who are hormones say they be our hormones no. And then also one way of to assess. The prolactin level is very high, and see also experiencing forms of infertility. All right. And when the analysis is done now, I don't know. There are times we can put you on treatment because sometimes we say the difference is not that much, or all lab tests shows that. Probably you even got the defect from occupational hazard. Maybe a maybe a way any some things you are exposed to. And through discussion, the bit make say okay. You free nema say ho. Di aduane say you say. Then maybe a draw way for 3 months, for 9 months. Then some repeat analysis no. Or maybe a okoye scrotum scan no. Urologist who say oh varicocele. Intini be a timi that or testis ho. And it drains your testes. Now it doesn't give you the ability to give sperm. Maybe also require varicocele surgery. Now for that you can have your sperm back. Basically you can put you on some medications and repeat the test and do all those things and see if spermatogenesis can really improve in such a person. So these are the basic things we do before we go to the advanced one. Yeah.
Okay. Inti na no ye ka we sisi ano ye hu say okay e hu hia say be sperm na ye hu say e bia sa nyama we na contribute to awo na emba no ana say inti ye mfa ne say e bia ye test we ye hu say e bia problem bi wo ho yen start emfi basic way no enko more advanced it is a problem wo ho then na ye bibia ye betumi aye.
Okay, it is a problem or her with the semen analysis no. Okay, so the problem or her we can start from your lifestyle. We can tackle it.
Okay.
Your lifestyle. We can even bring in a dietitian. Oboha is poor diet, and he said we have to recommend for balanced diet. We will do it, and normally for all those medications no. It takes about within 60 to 90 days. Will be fair draw for sperm production. Within won't mean fair drawing this week. Now when your analysis next week to see the impact of the medication. And see, normally we give up to 90 days. Within 90 days, we believe that all spermatids are baby sperms.
Okay.
We believe that all of them have matured into full-grown spermatozoa. And see, when the medications are taken, we have to repeat the semen analysis to be sure that any criteria we thought was below, is it really augmenting? Is it really increasing? And these are some of the sometimes when a lifestyle, majority of the men are lifestyle, and unfortunately some too are congenital.
Okay.
Let me say the war no. I do war money dear. Woman a draw said den emfa. Oh yeah den emfa. Obi said obi azoospermia. That means there's no sperm. No. We have two types. We have obstructive azoospermia and non-obstructive. Obstructive just say be sperm no kwine. Ebi say vast difference in here say obstructive. No, but also any obstructive, but only be. Such a person has no sperm and no amount of medication will act because the Sertoli cells and the Leydig cells cells na or testis no, they are not active. So which medication is going to act on it? There are no receptors for the medication to act on it to improve.
Okay.
And to such a person, they own your sperm. No amount, even testicular biopsy. Say you're trying to test this more, say sperm, you even get nothing.
Okay.
So these are some of the issues here.
Okay. Inti no treatment being sad to say infant say ABI you who say problem no.
Okay.
Your bema no na I was say abuse into me can say
Okay.
Inti your treatments are able to me aye. Amo mo no mo to me achieve where na.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And ansana yebeka treatments no. Yebeka commercial break. Inti yeba then we come and discuss treatments na ewo emano. Ama you who say all hope and koe. They be CBR bibi ho.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Tete for yebeka break yeba back yeba be discuss treatment options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Na ina mpesa wo de jeme pa my prayer my power na yem come. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Na ina mpesa wo de jeme pa my prayer my power na yem come. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not
Say ye call no mutsna ho na mo twen yen. Ye gu so a ye ka no to say that ye kan ye no treatment options na are available no. Eno na ye fi ye kan say break ya ben ye be kan ho asem. Nti the ben treatments are near wo mpese oni ye go through treatments no isan say enim say de be si bia bibi wo ho a yetumi ye. Nti then sana ye betumi aye.
All right. Treatment options in there. We have enough. Remember bisukaka yewo IUI, yewo ICSI, yewo IVF. And when the results comes, no, there is always a way out. So if your concentration is low, we can start with IUI. The IUI, they say we try to mimic the physiology. And pempino obani bema ene beda. Na bema no hunsu akọ obanim. But this time around no, obema no ed ne hunsu no be brain. Na ya process it. Sperm no you find wash and we wash the sperm. Because sperm has so many debris and you have to get rid of it. Until you wash here, near the go obanim. Sometimes it's even be once or twice. Then you train at the end of the month for the woman to get pregnant. It's one of the simplest form of treatment in terms of cost. It's very simple in terms of cost. And we have the ICSI. ICSI nature say the concentration is really low actually say. And no we jai sperm now no anything in the juma. Inti no yeah the FDB is a robotic bisa. Inti they no pick sperm no. Na yeah the needle no awo kusua no me release sperm no atom for fertilization. Yes. It's near for sperm to very low concentration. And we also have the IVF. And the nipa bebre nim yes enti no ye yi oba no kosua pie na yi be man egg no na they are fertilizing na ye fe in vitro fertilization bro for make say in vitro it means outside the human body enti ya na no so ye form we a ye de akoto oba nim and obu on so a sperm no emba out. That's the obstructive azoospermia no enti no ye call testis ni mu na yakoye biopsy enti no ye kutwa tissue ni mu be epididymis one where the sperm is stored no you could shaba na embryologist no ahwehwem so be hu sperm na weyi na through ICSI no ya sa dia wo kosua nim to achieve pregnancy. Yes, so we have a boy so Mr. said the one year the panye be rat testis na ya twi. He said the year twi moja no. And the young cattle by the baby room na ya twi. So all these things are if only there are sperms available. We are talking about when there are sperms available. But the sperms ni how they are, that's a different scenario. Yes,
okay.
Basically.
See, where sperms were ho, it's what I say sperm were say swa.
Yeah.
You bet to me IUI where you watch the sperm and then you inseminate into the woman. Na sperm nang sa anye ni juma. And no abeng awodie no. Abeng tube no nang sa nko ye ni juma.
Yes.
Say problem no was say obekwa ya boa no mo.
Yeah.
Nti no wo ho. Now sign ka IVF where you be yin kosua no ya just sperm no so sa ya wash na ya forming. But no sperm na ye ni juma but in a dish you can say in vitro outside the body no in a dish we are near the embryo no aye den e dey to awodi anim okay na o kan HC where I know so to say ye be yin kosua na sperm na ba no sperm nim to me anansa anye ti no o di sperm ba ko na kosua ba ko na wa inject na no so ya ye we na o kan about say bia obstructive you bet me using needle to say the air trim moja no.
Yeah.
E dey awo testis nim atwin nsuo ni bi na ye use e no so. Na o ka say no so anye edwuma na che say e wo say ye twa testis no.
Yes.
Na ye yi tissue ni bi ye hwehwe sperm na no so mix na ye.
Yeah.
Okay, nti no che say baby e be fe bia no. At least you bet me work out nti and yet that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
At least there's something that can be done. And this is the case where sperm wo and I like the fact that okaka who say in obstructive where into me but say you say difference tubes need on into me but sperm no wo nti enu de ye nya sperm no ye to me ko ne ye nya na ye dey fertilizing ama ye to me form embryo no but yes impepi no ade ankofo nti ase ne say you can IVF for feel say spontaneous pregnancy dey ono ana eja waji neni na nyinsan na but we kotua nti we tua e also nyinsan which is another discussion altogether. Yes, because there I also hear who say one kasa ko try a unko treatments bia no enye de bia na onyinsan ebi wo ha nyinsan bia mba nti no saa so na se wutua for procedure possible say nyinsan enye de mba. That is what we have to understand. But in cases where ebia yemfa ni say sperm ni ho no, what are some of the options?
Okay, so when there's no sperm, it's a very difficult situation, especially for men. You know, men have ego. And Tiruka said, we release this seminal fluid or semen, but there's no sperm now. Some doubt because Oboha, let's say, one be 3 years ago. Now, catching say in the only sperm, I am not omunjindi. Yes, and so you realize that because something secondary infertility, you can be fertile today, you can be infertile tomorrow, which is something most people don't know. Yeah, and here we have to explain it for them to understand. So when there is no sperm, the only way you can achieve pregnancy is through an anonymous donor sperm protocol. So when you say anonymous donor sperm protocol, that means a sperm donor who has been screened of all communicable, all genetic diseases, or who has some characteristics just like you, will be sought to give you the sperm. And that's the donor sperm protocol. And I don't know, that's the only way, except if your religion does not accept it, and it's a choice we don't impose on patients. It's a choice that you have to do it, you have to choose yourself, and you have to also sign, you have to consent for it. So that in the future you don't come and hold scientists, no need doctor and say, Omona did ma way, because it misses, you know, in the media. Yes. And all these procedures, no, and they are written consent, you have to consent to it that what necessary we should use a donor sperm for you. And that's the only way. That's the only way you can get a child through azoospermia.
Okay. Yeah. But in Bema side, na say in a way metiasi. When yeah, I know munana ego no. But sometimes we say for oba. So who you see donated eggs are more bar. Oba gets to carry the pregnancy. Until you're involved in the process, oh. We want to know. But Obama no, who can donate sperm? On carry pregnancy, oh, you ne carry. Until now say, we ye nefi. We yin saying Jenny nim. Well, in a way, meet your massy. Because of you or Hobeka said, but saying I met me half so I day, I will into any shame. But then not now until no door, yeah, no, anything. Well, case scenarios near different from bad new Emma or bad your carry. So one man can't share what. Who name say any egg and any egg? You don't know. Well, because on no on him. Well, be also who's on him, no bear money. Well, although nobody will know, no, when it's him, yeah, nipa. Well, I think say, and also, yeah, one of the things are, a hard dream, because once or any party, want to make us a main dreams are the way, would they see over dreams are the way.
Yes.
Okay. Yo, na, ye can yama p as to what causes male infertility in a sanyama na. Ade ba kwa mpese me yemfa ne say cause minim say e bia yemfa ne say obi anya cancer wo say ye me kan say treatment bi mana na bibia onwo ye bibi wo ho betumi aye ama e protect yenka ne say ne fertility so that she be no person wo a na ye use because yemfa ne say for mba no e kan we fertility preservation yeah, ubetumi freeze eggs no for later ebia yare bi na ebe require say treatment ne be say unkosua ye to me freeze nkosua no na amadachi affect wo fertility na say also edu so wo also betumi awo. Can it be done for a man as well?
Oh yes, it can be done. And then also we have that's a sperm freezing. And then we have programming for maybe on your cancer of the prostate or something, so chemotherapy or all those things, and it can affect the fertility at the long run. And you can come to the center, give your sperm out, and the sperm will be frozen. It can be frozen for even 10 years. So as long as you need it, you can come for it and start the procedure.
Okay.
And even on warrior, you can still freeze your sperm, so that after the chemotherapy, after the radiation, now at the long run your sperm is affected. You know you have a backup.
Yeah.
And also couple now they don't stay together. Or bema no abroach and bema no ba will be just 2-3 days or Ghana, 2 weeks, 1 month or Ghana, and you're having issues of conceiving.
Yeah.
Such a man too can also freeze his sperm and go, so that when the time is up, the center can use it for the woman to also get pregnant.
Okay.
Yes, and there are times to, if bemebo ha akwabuchi and the document same any setting. And within the next, let's say within the next 7 years, won't be in Ghana, that man can also transport his sperm, frozen sperm, through courier service to a fertility center, and the center can use it to inseminate the wife or do any IVF treatment for the wife. So because of science and all this advanced biomedical technology, all these things are possible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In Sinacha say treatment be also ebia time won worry na say what worry po na aba ni say na also obetumi freeze sperm no then later obetumi use
exactly
happy so can about obi a we to kwa na onti ha because obi wa time a nkosua be release no oni ho but if o freeze sperm na you betumi use. Okay, nti for these are some of the things betumi aye ama obia onye available for time the yinkosi abe ready on uni hono. These are some of the things you be to me aye. Sunday all hope is not lost. The BCB bibi wo ho. Sure. Okay. Nti there was a yeti asini say problem ni nyo bankwa problem. Obema so be to me nya problem. But Obama sunya problem at said oba problem bibi wo ha ye betumi aye e de aboa na wo aba no saa na Obama sunya problem bibi wo ho ye betumi aye na awo na ye den aba. But the first thing will be to make sure say wako eko hu doctor ya test you who say na issue near and now because sometimes well maybe I know about fault and your man is so fault but it's not happening but say one ko ye test na bibia we will never know where the problem is near bedding ye be kasa ebia ye so no na say you share solution to the problem no. And then going back to what you mentioned earlier about 1 year no it's here for to say the air can no after 1 year no protection nothing actively you are having intercourse nothing happens it is the time I was all then oko na oko doctor in paper you hono yebeka say of course 1 year but anywhere from mema no but so ba ni more than 35 and no 6 months na mwako you can say the reason why most of the time you can say to say yeah discussing I think that we mentioned it say oba na ye wona nkosua no wodada oba ma so do puberty or status or produce sperm nti ono no owo opportunity say bibi to me aya fast sperm no be enya say the whole 90 days ni ade the new ones eba ni ade nti diet ni ade ebe boa na ya modify ni na and so nti sa with them ba nti na most of the time no yeah this you can say importance no you play on embarrassing side no but there's always something to be done. Yeah. First, there should be way you be identified. There should be a way identification of the problem in the first place before you be. I feel so. Although I young can't way about you can say well, and you're too late. We can still discuss. So we can discuss time we can still discuss prevention. Okay. When we be what said all kind chromosomal way near the end. There's nothing we can do about it. But other nyama no bibi wo ho a ye betumi ayentie we say only discussing about prevention. Okay. And prevention
that means we will not talk into the genetic aspect. As you said, the genetic they will. But basically what you can do to prevent obesity say exposure to pesticides. Wherever you deal with chemicals, heavy metals and all those things in a core system and those who work with mercuries and high concentrated chemicals, all these things can affect it. And also, if you work in an area where there's high temperature, maybe you melt metals, you are in a very high concentration, high temperature can also affect spermatogenesis. And also alcohol, smoking, because smoking also, as you know, it affects the DNA of the sperm. So you have DNA fragmentations. Yeah, and to and some smoking, it can affect semen production, and also all those hard drugs can also affect your semen production. So some of the things can be avoided. That means if you can, the basic things, which is more occupational, which is more physical, that one you can avoid, unless those which are idiopathic and those which are very genetic, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, so basically the few ones you can prevent them. And
you mentioned like initial treatments, diet and all that.
Yes.
Can diet sube to me abwa?
Yes.
So that you prevent having these way in there.
Exactly.
Okay, so will be a young kofuka. Yeah, clarifies. Yeah, see, and then your friend is saying, Michigoro. And Ataji.
Ataji. Yeah.
Aha. Ebwa.
Well, Ataji we know it has vitamins. Okay, and because of its high vitamin and protein content, so it's just like taking a vitamin supplement. And because we have semen analysis now, the biochemistry aspect of semen analysis, there are fructose, we have all those things, and definitely ebeboa, because it will be every fruits, apple, oranges, because the vitamin C content helps in changing the morphology. So if a sperm is very bad, high concentration of vitamin C in your system will help to change the morphology. Exactly. But some of them too, I don't know if there are extensive research on it now, because Obiane with Mika say we Michigoro no meaning say if there have been a paper on it, that proves that it's really correct. For it does, but in science we speak about publication.
Yeah.
Without publication and fact, we can only speculate. Exactly. Yeah.
Nti at least ataju de wajini dinka.
Ataju, yeah.
Ataju, okay. Nti for muti nyama bi wo hot to say smoking, drinking, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. Obi wo ho we ka say ne papa no me nsan but owo mbaten. Ti adan na wo ka. Esu obi ana ne system. Obi wo ho be no hwe nye no.
Yeah.
Obi wo ho so be no bibi be ye no. Na afi so to say the ye ka no. Ebi wo ho a obi feel say it doesn't affect you but akwala no betumi po aye abnormal. And san nyama kitin ni na fi sa we mu first no we used to think say just oba side and we needed to worry about we but to say fetal alcohol syndrome it has been found say men must play way because sperm na bu inkosua no so abu no omo ehia untumi nka say inkosua na abu ne pe na akọ see problem no sperm na aye we na to say the all kind about DNA no it changes our DNA. It can affect sperm DNA. When in say bi wo ha nya say men jiweni, but then you have to be careful about because in everything no, it has to be done in moderation.
Exactly.
When bibia obeye over bia, it affects you. So everything in moderation. So to me cry moderation, but yeah, e bi wo ha excess. Obi wo ho so a the men who say only the say hey. Every way be I was so quick now when you're free until was on no. But there also when you say in the end no, depend on no amount free but when they are effective. Well, those are some of the things that we have to consider in some of these things. But you enjoy happy because when you're free, until why not? They be I be fun kwa I didn't na on your way. So those are some of the way. And say for if you have questions, ask and them kofu PIA because once a member draw almost Mon kasa bebre say remember the na ye din because I can know my own questions I have but remember na ye din because ya kasa almost a major problem but these are some of the things when we don't talk about it in kofu say na wo like wo hwehwe ma ye betumi aye bibi wo but if we hu a na che say eno anu no we hu. But it's always good to identify the problem and then yenim say something can be done about it. Okay, so if questions be niwa for now no, you better call back to no mobile sponsors no. So when we come back, I want you to give a take-home message for the audience no.
All right.
Enti ye can sponsors no ye da sankofu we as say omo aboaye na yetumi edi asem aba ye sha se no Promise City TV online so ope say we advertise your product obetumi afre 0244 36 0244 38 046 76 0244 024 36 I don't know, in the make a 6 bar. Sorry, Promise City TV online. So also advertising your product. You can call them on 024 380 4676 024 380 4676. Afi so obe to me omo sign boy my programming by Benny Travel Consult. If we here emboa with going to papers, the Wabeji visa or plane tickets NBPR. When you consult them, they can help you with all those needs. You can contact them on 0244 36 2445 0244 36 2445. Lightest Media, omo buana programming eba into say uhia media way solution bia now contact you on they can help you to solve that problem no you can call them on 054 81 79 863 054 81 79 863 and I say with me from 05 7717 9836 0577179863. Abba Partners, omuna omubwa ma yedi your salvation is now crusade no eba ye na ye nim se ehu hia se ye be kanya mesem akire omo omunte nyame asem no ama ye kwa heaven na nyame ne wo pe na ye ko na obia so enya no ye den wakobi. So if you want to partner with them and our supporting sa course we are over to me a contact Abba for ewo 024 3804676 024-380-4676. Afi so Hemco Enterprise. Omo na omo maye awake nsuo ye wa he ya ye numi. Omo wo depo back or community 2 tema and afi so dowenya. Obetumi afre ohima on 0244 32883 0244 32883. Afi so ye were FREDUA Automation Limited. Say uhia roofing and block making machine for your construction and batching plant, installation, servicing and modification of all kinds of machinery. You can contact them on 050 4939 395 050 4939 395. Now almost so ombedding wow. Prissy Logistics, they are into general clearing of goods and services. Omuye into importation, exportation, freight management, any door-to-door service. They will hear when you contact them, if it's within their capacity to send Yamana Mabubona, they will help you. You can contact them on 024 66 58161 024 66 58161. Ube sign so I reach your on 0244 777 276 0244 777 276. Kenley Company. Omuno, they buy and sell new and used furniture. Into say we here furniture up say utopia na bibia and also new ones we saw say Uma omutoma wa. When you contact them, omube to me. Wow, now what tone? You can reach them on 0244 219 633 0244 219 633. We sign so in on 054 514 7679. Now, omo company ni wo opposite Tema Sports Stadium. Nti say number ni po na wanti na ope say and I want to person or cohoa instead so on make us our phone so I'll be to me I'll home a war opposite Tema Sports Stadium. Afisi a war Decovas Enterprise. We all kinds of decoration. Omuna so we ye or wedding no naming decoration be a here. Afis when ye na wreath na person ya na bibia who contacted Decovas Enterprise on way to me wow. You can reach them on 0244 2600 80 0244 260080. Afi so Reps Household Limited. Omoye cash and carry sales of all gadgets. Say TV na here, fridge na here, then na here. House gadgets be a here. So always car over to me akoto. So we need cash no expertise kabia you can buy on credit. To contact them no over to me from 024 381 7534 024 381 7534 and I say 054 6090 403 from one omobe wow. Afi so e-fashion and boutique. They are experts in kids and unisex African wear. Yendimomo as the home of African designs. So person reach your moi omo wow with whatever you may need in terms of auto African print and I'll say pom Emma wa. Ube to me afro omo 0244 084 240 0244 084 240. Afi so if you want to reach them by WhatsApp, maybe ansa no kwa ko hu omo no omo boa with styles bi ana bibia omo wa. Wait me contact you on WhatsApp number way 024 024-5791-365. 024-579-1365. And sana yebe kind take home message for in the program no. Me pese me go through Promise City TV program lineup no. Mondays to Thursdays 11 to 12:30 p.m. Your visitation hour with Apostle Mrs. Benis Ajiman Prempe. On Wednesdays, your exaltation drive time with Irama from 7 p.m. On Thursdays, we have inspirational hour with Pastor Jessica, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. In CATA for Wati. Now, while like you know, what share, now what subscribe, ama obi for so it's ye now I inshira. Now Sundays 4 to 5, so ye will health talk. Inti this our programs way share o program ama FREDUA na wetie na wa yenhira ebi wo ho a enye health ne pe a ebe bo apom den visitation hour, inspirational hour, exaltation drive ni na be bo spiritual health inti wo ye physical no na wo ye spiritual ne so ye da wase bansa na ye be kɔ no ye pe say o mayen ye take home message. Nti then na ye kwe we pese e bia we summarize the waka na so we can bibia say ye refi bibi kra ne po a ye betumi akai.
All right, that's it. Nti ansa na e be ko no pese na e hu say the issue of fertility no say aware for worry na say awon ba ya e ma oba no nko an into na mo enko hospital be man wo so kan ko then you are all assessed and I feel so say bibi ba mamunye blame game. Blame game doesn't help infertility treatment. And Tibemano, when you see that you are the problem, Obano give your man the maximum support. Now on go through all these where the problem is coming from. We see how we can solve the problem. And Tibemano, so when you are diagnosed of any infertility, please compromise. What do you call it? Try and obey. You know, men sometimes I not be stubborn. They don't take all these medications, but take all your medication. Listen to your medical personnel or your health expert, your fertility expert, and there's always a way in this treatment. So that's the take home. And we should take care of our lifestyle and abstain from so many bad things that can deteriorate our fertility.
Okay. Muti asema Mr. Aduako kan ye no e wo say ade aye ne ye make sure say eduan ye didim bibia no ye behwe so ye afi so say ye na ne ye pa wo na wo ne mba enye oba ne pe na sede ye na se ye beko ne ye be ye da wase say ye fro wunya time na oba ye na happy anniversary. So
Thank you very much.
Yes, that was to say, even your anniversary, no sign time, by son say, like the need and the importance of getting this information out there for Nkofuso Beye Inshira. Tia that was pan. Okay, it's here for we've come to the end of today's program. Yeah, Bompa said next week, Nyamebe ma ye nan kwan. Na ya say share to discuss bibi fofra ebe san no so be de ebe boa ya pomede. Ya da wase. Na the wati so we ask that also be catch obi. Na wa share link no bi so aye den. Aye nshira so no so betie. Until we meet again. Bye bye and thank you for making time.
Na ena me pesa wo de jeme pa my prayer my power na yem come. My prayer my power. Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.